Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by A.G. Heinz Company. 100 years, 4 generations of the Heinz family. You don't stay in business that long unless you have quality materials to sell, you have people who care about their customers and their community, and you have really good prices. A.G. Heinz Company has all that. A.G. Heinz Company, for all your building supply needs, get down to Heinz Street in downtown Knoxville and see them this week. Okay. Let's take a look. I mentioned this before our break. This is Tennessee's schedule so far, what they've accomplished. And over on the left are the net ratings. That's what the NCAA used to be RPI. Now they have their own net ratings that they use on Selection Sunday. Tennessee's ranked number 6th in these rankings. So even though your 2 best foes that you've played have been losses, one in overtime, the other one to Villanova, you're still number 6 up there. Arizona, as of yesterday, was number 1. I haven't looked today, but they were number 1. What does this game mean? I'll start with Jimmy and Chuck down there. In terms of your tournament resume,
yes.
I mean, because you take a quality game like Memphis off.
Right.
So does that make this game more important? Does that number 1 ranking make it more important? How important is this game, Jimmy?
Yeah, I think it does make it more important because Memphis is off the table. Now, you're also going to get a boost from playing your SEC schedule, which is you've got a lot of teams in the SEC that are good. But I think it's a huge resume booster if you can beat Arizona, if you can beat the number 1 team in the net. And that's going to be a big challenge for Tennessee. But I think it helps you a great deal as far as your resume when the committee can take a look at that and not only say, hey, Tennessee went out and scheduled a lot of these really good teams, but look what they did against a team that was the number 1 in the net when they played them.
Yeah, I mean, you really had a chance to get a couple of quality wins, right? And you haven't been able to do it. To me, that's as important as this is. Whether you're talking about the quadrant that it's in on how they're ranked, you've got to start, if not beating them, at least being with them in a competitive game. And that's what I see with Arizona. I saw one ranking like 8th, Tennessee 18th. You'll probably be a home underdog, which may not matter in a lot of ways, but then go upset somebody.
But it does to Chuck.
But it does to Chuck. But yeah, I mean, you need to start beating some name programs.
How important is this game for Tennessee's resume, but also the brand that Rick Barnes is putting together? You've got, you've had some flameouts in the tournament that fans weren't happy about. Does he need to start piling up some of these big game wins?
Yeah, I mean, look, we can't forget we beat North Carolina. North Carolina's a pretty well-known team. They're not they're not having the year that we thought that they would have, but they're a good name team. Yeah, we've not performed as well in these bigger games this year and a couple times in the years past. Arizona, the thing about this team, number 1 in scoring offense, top 5, top 7 in field goal percentage, really good defense, top 10 in defense. They're the second tallest team. You talk about a team that struggled against height with interior, Kennedy Chandler getting to the rim. They're the second fastest possession offensive team. So it means they get up and down the floor. So this is a matchup that for us that is going to be really challenging if we're not shooting the ball from the perimeter because inside, Kennedy Chandler getting to the rim, he's going to be met by a lot of tall interior guys, and so it's going to be harder for us to finish at the rim. We got to make jump shots. But this Arizona ball club, yes, this is going to be a team that's going to be probably a number 1 type seed in the NCAA tournament. You get them on your home floor. This is a big game for this basketball team coming off of Memphis not being on your schedule.
It's exciting. This is the kind of thing, if I were a UT student and Arizona was coming, I'd have been all over this game. Isaiah, you got a chance to play against Arizona when you were at UT. I won't mention how that one ended. I'll let you bring that up if you want to. But your thoughts on playing this kind of brand name. These kind of games are what you want. When your team's good, this is what you like about college basketball. I don't care about your South Carolina upstate. I don't care about North Carolina Greensboro. Tennessee, Arizona, that makes my mouth water. As a player, how you looking at it?
It's a good feeling. I mean, you play the team and not the jersey, but at the end of the day, you can't unsee all the great things that they did, the championships. We did play them one year. I believe it was my sophomore year, and I still have nightmares about it. I missed a dunk at the end of the game. Probably was a foul, but if the referee doesn't call it, it's not. So he didn't call it, and then.
Well, it's still a foul. He just doesn't call it.
Well, no.
Isaiah doesn't cry, Chuck.
Yeah, I try not to cry anyway. But so yeah, and I mean it's like you said, we lost the Memphis game. That was going to be a nice quality win for us. Could we have beat them? This is a top 10 team. I mean, in Rocky Top, they're coming here. I mean, when has that ever happened? So yeah, it's a huge game.
The other thing I was going to say is, for some reason, the SEC basketball as a conference still has a negative connotation about itself throughout the country. And you look at Georgia continue to have bad losses. Missouri's had bad losses. South Carolina. In league play, you're going to have some of those bottom-tier teams beat your top-tier teams, which then, for whatever reason, your media around the country is going to have negativity about the SEC. So that makes this game even bigger because Tennessee will lose to a team that they're probably not supposed to on paper. That's how conference basketball goes. Yeah. And so, but this game, if they're on your home court, top-quality opponent, is a big game for them on Wednesday.
Goes a long way if they can pull this one off. All right. When we come back, we got a new segment. We're going to call it Read and React. I'm going to read a player's name. I'm going to let each of these guys react and tell me what they think of that performance from that player so far this year. Could be where they've overperformed, could be what they need to get better on. We'll do a quick run through of some of the top players on the team. Next, come on back on the Sports Source.